Do you know what the symbol of the rainbow really means? Not long ago, during the last Pride Month, I was walking downtown in my community and I noticed all the rainbow flags and rainbow posters and rainbow symbols. Because to most of us today, that's what the rainbow means. It's a symbol of a certain view of sexual ethics and sexual orientation. If you know any of the history, the rainbow flag was designed by an artist named Gilbert Baker about the time I was born, about 40 plus years ago. But I'm asking you today, do you know what the original symbol of the rainbow meant? Not in regards to sexuality, but in regards to the heart of Christianity. You might know that the rainbow first shows up in the Bible right after the story of Noah and the flood in the early chapters of the entire Bible, Genesis 6 through 9. And lots of us think it's just this beautiful symbol, God's promise that he wouldn't send another flood. But I want to ask you today, think about it for a second. Why did God put a rainbow in the sky? A bow. I wonder if you've ever thought about that before. It's not like a bow you'd put on top of a Christmas gift, or when you're tying your shoes, you make a bow. No, think about it. Think of the shape of a rainbow. It's a bow. It's a weapon. It's something you put an arrow in, point at your target, and shoot it to wound it, if not outright kill it. Have you ever thought about that? That after a rainstorm, sometimes when the sun shines brightly, God literally puts a weapon in the sky. Why would that be? Oh man, the answer to that question is epic. Well, think about it for a second. God puts a weapon in the sky after the rain, but it's a beautiful weapon. You ever seen a rainbow, maybe just really crisp and clear, maybe even a double rainbow, and just reached for your phone? You had to take a picture. It was so, look at that. Why would a weapon be that? Why would God make this giant weapon so beautiful? Here's the answer, and it's at the very heart of the Christian faith, because the weapon is pointed in God's direction. Oh, let me say that again. A rainbow is a beautiful weapon pointing in God's direction. Think about it. A bow, like a bow and arrow, the rounded part is pointed towards the target, and the flat part where the string is pointed in the other direction. Why would God put this weapon not pointing down at me and you here on earth, but pointing up towards the sky? Why is the weapon pointing in God's direction? And the answer, if you're a Christian, you know, is because God is the one who took the wrath for sin. When God was mad at your sin, when God saw your impatience, when he saw your drunkenness, when he saw your selfishness, in his righteousness, he was rightfully angry. But instead of pouring out his wrath on you, instead of giving me what I deserve, what did God do? He turned the weapon of his righteous anger in his own direction. If this sounds familiar, this is what the cross of Jesus Christ is all about. There's a weapon, except God is hanging on that weapon. It's been pointed in his direction. I love this. After the rain comes down, instead of flooding us again like he did in the days of Noah, he puts the sign of the rainbow, a weapon pointed in his direction, and it's so breathtaking and gorgeous we reach for our cameras. You see, the rainbow is nature's gospel. It's a beautiful symbol that God does not give us what he deserved. In fact, he took upon himself what we deserved so that we could have what's rightfully his, a place in heaven and the ultimate approval of God. So the next time you see a rainbow in the sky, don't just take a picture and say, oh, that's beautiful. Instead, think of the gospel, because the rainbow is nature's gospel, a beautiful weapon pointed in God's direction.
Hey, thanks for listening to Taboo Questions with me, Pastor Mike Novotny. You can find even more questions on timeofgrace.org/taboo questions and in my book entitled Taboo, Topics Christians Should Be Talking About But Don't. Just look for the link in the episode notes.